Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this episode 3793 AM. Today's dated December 11th, 2025, and the title of the episode is Autopen was used for Powell. Affordability issue will be used against the central bank. Watch gold. Now, as we wrap up 2025, it's a good time to slow down and reflect on the year. If there's one thing we've all learned is that uncertainty isn't temporary. It's the world we live in now. Waiting for things to go back to normal isn't a plan, it's a gamble. For over a decade, my friends at Noble Gold Investments have helped Americans protect themselves and the people they love by diversifying their wealth with gold and silver. Look, no one knows what 2026 will bring, but one thing's for sure. In an uncertain world, real wealth isn't digital. It's physical, it's lasting, and it's yours. So when you're sitting around the table this holiday season, surrounded by family, remember, the best gift you can give isn't under the tree, it's peace of mind. And that's what Noble Gold delivers. Peace of mind, 1 ounce at a time. Before the year ends, take one smart step toward a safer future. Visit X22Gold.com and get your free wealth protection kit today. That's X22Gold.com. Don't leave your future to chance, or just click the link in the description. And remember, past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult your financial advisor before making investment decisions. Let's get right into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the deep state, the corrupt politicians, the private West Central Bank, the World Economic Forum. You could see exactly what Trump now is going to be using to destroy the central bank system. Remember, he's going to show the people why the deep state, why the central bank, why the D's had made our country completely unaffordable. And you could see the D's, they're trying to use this against Trump, but Trump is going to switch this around and use it against them. Because this just doesn't have to do with, high price of eggs, high price of meat. This has to do with the entire system. When you start to look at the entire economic system, you need to realize that the entire system was created under the illusion of the central bank system. They've taught the people over many, many, many years that inflation is normal, that this is the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to work harder and earn less. You're supposed to pay taxes. You're supposed to put everything on your credit card. This is what the central bankers wanted the people of this country to believe. This is the way an economic system is supposed to be run. It's almost like those people in DC and government, where they said, this is the way government is. We borrow a lot of money. We got a lot of ridiculous programs, and you're not allowed to know where any of the money goes. That's the way it works. And if you question it, well, there's something wrong with you. Well, here you could see that this is the third central bank that we had in this country. The first two were removed, and now Trump is in the process of removing the third one. And how do you convince the people that we need to remove it? You show people how we have inflation. Now, a lot of people don't get the concept of inflation. They hear inflation, but you show people that, look, we're in an affordability crisis because of the central bank. We have a problem with affordability because the central bank system does not benefit the people. And how is he going to show the American people all of this? All you got to do is show them that, look, we have a parallel system that is taking in revenue for externally, and we have a central bank where we're taking in income internally. If we remove you from the internal system and we move the people to the external system, and people say, how do you do that? Well, all you got to do is wean them off the taxes, and then all of a sudden you're receiving a dividend from the external system. You're not paying taxes, so you're on the external system. And people start to realize, well, wait a minute, things are a lot more affordable now, aren't they? I have a lot more money in my pocket. And as time goes on, as we continually no longer borrow from the central bank, the inflation just comes to a screeching halt. So let's put this all together. Inflation is coming to a screeching halt. People have more buying power. All of a sudden, everything becomes affordable. Now, if we take this to the next level and we basically end up paying back the central bank, which I do believe Trump and the Patriots, this is what they're planning to do, that means your buying power completely and utterly returns to you, which means everyone's going to realize that it was the central bank that was the cause of all the problem. Because think about it. If you pay back the debt, what caused the inflation? Oh, it was the central bank. Because all of a sudden, things are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, which really means the value of your currency is coming back because all that currency that was in circulation is being paid back to the original source and you're removing it from circulation. So people are going to start to really understand who's responsible for all this. Because in the end, I do believe what Trump and the Patriots are going to do is they're going to show the people this and then make the case of why we need to get rid of it or restructure it, which means we're going to have to get rid of the Federal Reserve Act, which means we're going to have to get rid of one of the amendments where it allows Congress to collect taxes from the people. Remember, this is something our founding fathers fought against going way, way back. They didn't want to be taxed. They didn't want to be taxed on their land. They didn't want to be taxed on their labor. They fought a war for this. They didn't want the British government taking everything that they had. And here we are once again. This is a second revolution that we're fighting right now. And I do believe the people are starting to learn that, you know something? I see what the problem is. And I think it's going to become clearer and clearer every single day. But you can see the D's. They're trying to protect the central bank. They're trying to protect their system. And what they're doing right now is they're trying to make the case that it's Trump's fault that prices are going up. It's Trump's fault that people can't afford things. But you have to remember, inflation is cumulative. It doesn't go away unless you pay it all back, unless you pay back the debt. It stays. And once you put everything in motion, it stays. It doesn't disappear. You're not going to see the price of these items just go down. Yes, you can counter the price by low energy. You can put more money in people's pockets to counter that, but the actual cost of the item is really not going to drop. Yes, you could drop it with lower energy costs for delivery, for production, and things like that, but the base of it will never go away because, again, it's built into the central bank system. And you could see that the D's are having a very difficult time trying to convince the people that Trump has been causing the affordability crisis. And when you look at all the graphs with ground beef, for example, you could see that the increase in beef, it started when? It started when Biden came into office. And now Trump is in office and he's looking at this saying, okay, we have a monopoly on the meat packing, which is causing the price to go up. And we're having problems with the ranchers, and we need to tackle these problems. But when you look at the graph, you could see it's very, very clear. You could see that during Obama, prices went up. When Trump came in, it went down his first term. When Biden came in, it went up. Now Trump is back. What do you think is going to happen to the prices? They're going to start to go down. Stephen Moore put this out, and he's pointing to the U.S. grocery prices. And it says prices are higher today than they were on July 2024, all in major categories listed below. So when you look at this, you could see that the prices of cheese, alcohol, grocery, dairy, produce, and meat, they're all up right now. But when you look at the time frame, it's the time that Biden came into office until Trump came into office. And you could see that during this period of time, prices went up. So this has nothing to do with Trump whatsoever. Stephen Moore says, who's responsible for sky-high grocery bills? 2 words, not Trump. This has nothing to do with Trump. This has everything to do with the D's, with the central bank, because once again, they have been causing the problem. And I think people now are starting to realize that they have caused the problem of making food prices go up. And not just food prices. They have also caused the prices of homes, rent, and everything else to go up. Amuse put this out and said, HUD Secretary Scott Turner says the housing crisis is being driven by a 6 million foreign-born surge. High Fed rates and corporate investors like BlackRock calls for deportation, Fed transparency, and reforms to fix affordability. And once again, by bringing more illegals into this country, you cause the prices of rent and homes and everything else to go way, way up. And now people are starting to see this, and it's becoming very, very clear. Just like it's becoming very clear that the Federal Reserve is kind of trapped. And as Trump brings in more and more people into the Federal Reserve, what are they doing? They're putting a lot of pressure on those Fed heads to actually cut the rates. Because once again, Trump wants the rates to come way, way down. Of course, the Fed, they didn't want the rates to come down. They wanted high rates because they were trying to crash the economy. But you can see with everything that Trump is doing right now, especially with the parallel economic system, you could see now he is competing with the Federal Reserve, and the new system is overshadowing the Federal Reserve. It's getting stronger and stronger every single day. And the Federal Reserve, they just cut their interest rates by 25 basis points, lowering the interest rates to 3.5 to 3.75%. Now, think about this. This is really going to help the economy tremendously, the car industry, the housing industry, you name it. Each time there's a cut, you're going to see it's going to get better and better and better. Muse put this out and said the following: Fed cut rates 25 basis points and launches 40 billion monthly treasury buys. Analysts say the move boosts lending, lowers borrowing costs, and lifts stocks and crypto as Trump's economy surges. Today, the Federal Reserve lowered its key rate by 25 basis points while preparing to inject $40 billion per month into Treasury bills purchasing beginning December 12th. The combined policies strengthen liquidity, reduce borrowing costs, and ease credit strains that often stall growth. Bank of America says both stocks and crypto stand to gain as confidence rises. The Fed's actions confirm the resilience of Trump's expanding second-term economy. And yes, you're going to see Bitcoin move up. You're going to see gold move up. And Trump is going to be using the stock market against the deep state players, the central bankers. Because go back in time, they always use the stock market as the gauge of the economy. They always tell you, oh, look, the stock market's up, the economy's doing well. Trump is going to be using that against the deep state players, against the Ds. Plus, what people are going to start to experience is that, hey, it's not just the stock market. I'm feeling better and better every single day. Fuel prices are continually dropping. Let's talk about how to protect ourselves online. Patriots 40 and up who have Gmail, listen up. Weeks ago, the biggest email hack ever just leaked over 183 million passwords. Yours most likely is out there right now, handed to hackers who steal your social security number, bank details, even your name to drain your accounts or rack up debt in your name. That's identity theft. Crooks pretending to be you, wrecking your credit, your savings, your life while you fight to prove it's not you. But here's your fix. Virtual Shield Identity Protection. Just easily sign up and it scans the dark web daily for leaked info. Blast alerts to your phone if something's fishy, like that Gmail breach popping up. If thieves strike, up to $5 million insurance can help cover lost wages, legal fees, stolen money. Plus, 24/7 U.S. experts handle the calls and clean up. You just relax. It even monitors kids' identities before they know it. This Black Friday, take advantage for only $4.88 a month, the cheapest full shield around. Grab it at virtualshield.com/X22. That's virtualshield.com/X22. No more waiting. Your family's future depends on it. Eyes wide, defenses up, X22 out. Or just click the link in the description. Which means I have a lot more buying power. I do believe in 2026, when people start to get their tax refunds, people are going to say, holy crap, I have even more money in my pockets because now I was able to get these refunds. So Trump, what he's doing right now, he's setting it up for the 2026 midterms. He's showing the people, look, it's not that difficult to make the economy great, and it's going to get better and better every single day. And it is getting better and better every single day. Now, of course, the fake news and everyone else is going to say, oh, no, everything's going up, everything's getting worse. But think about it. As fuel prices drop, is he not countering the inflation that Biden has caused, that the central bank has caused? Absolutely. And this will continue. And think about it. When people get their refund, isn't this countering what Biden and the central bank has caused? Absolutely. When he starts weaning us off the income tax, isn't this going to counter everything the Ds and the central banks have caused? And not just caused over the last couple of years, over a long period of time. And that's why Trump has been doing all this. He's building the foundation. And people are going to continually say, oh, I don't see anything. Well, really, we went from $3 to $4 gas all the way down to the mid-2, some places below 2 already. You don't see anything happening? Let's talk after everyone gets their tax refund, because people are going to start to experience something very, very different than they haven't experienced in a long time. And of course, people are going to come out and say, who cares? That's not that big of a deal. So let's see, lowering energy costs, getting a tax refund, then having a dividend come from the external revenue. Yeah, he's doing nothing. Think about that for a second. People are going to start to realize slowly but surely as we enter 2026 and move throughout 2026, people are going to realize how great the economic system is, because add on top of this, the jobs coming back to this country, manufacturers coming back to this country, creating those jobs, people are going to have a lot more money, because when you deport the illegals who've been taking the low-paying jobs and you give it to Americans and the buying power is coming back to the people, you're going to see something very, very different. And think about it. Trump is not being, he doesn't want to be dependent on any other country, especially for energy or critical minerals. And open source intel put this out and said a major deposit of rare earth and critical minerals have been uncovered in Utah, which the Wall Street Journal calls the most significant critical minerals reserve in the U.S. So basically what they've found is 16 rare earth and critical minerals in Utah's Mill Creek area, including a high-grade lithium and gallium, positioning it as the U.S. largest such reserve to reduce reliance on China, which controls about 90% of the global processing. So all of a sudden, you're seeing everything start to change right now. And Trump, he has just introduced the gold card. And he put this out on Truth. He said, the United States government Trump Gold Card is here today. A direct path to citizenship for all qualified and vetted people. So exciting. Our great American companies can finally keep their invaluable talent. So Trump, he just introduced the Gold Card, and this is going to really help. And he's going to bring in a lot of money, because it costs about $1 million to get this Gold Card. And you receive lawful permanent resident status as an EB1 or EB2 visa holder. A direct path to citizenship for all qualified and vetted, that's the key word, vetted people. So people are paying to come into this country. So the Gold Card, which has been launched now, it allows people to apply for a U.S. green card through expedited channels like EB1A for extraordinary ability or EB2 national interest waiver. It requires a non-refundable $15,000 processing fee plus a contribution or gift of at least $1 million per individual, or $2 million via an employer sponsor, with additional amounts for dependents. The funds go to entities like the U.S. Department of Commerce, and applicants must prove a lawful source of money, similar to the EB5 investor visa. The process involves filling out a new form I-140G, followed by consular processing abroad. No in-country adjustment of status is allowed, and approvals can happen in weeks, though backlogs from per-country caps may still cause delays for the actual green card. So does this affect the H-1B visa system? No, because the H-1B visa system is temporary work visa for skilled professionals to come into this country. Now, do we need skilled individuals? Yes, we do. Do we need every single person coming here? No. So yes, this is why Trump and the Patriots, this is why they're still using this. And I do believe as time goes on and as the people start to learn about the technology, about manufacturing and everything else, I do believe Trump and the team, they'll be weaning us off of all of this. So do I think this is going to harm America? No, I think in the long run, I think it's going to assist America. Just like when we moved the manufacturers and our technology companies out of this country, moved them to other countries, well, there were temporary workers there that actually trained those people. And at this point in time, you can see what the deep state, the central bankers have done to this country. They actually destroyed our manufacturing base. And actually, most of the children who've been going to school or going to college, they haven't taken the classes that is going to allow them to work in these different fields. A lot of them, they're taking wasteful studies, majors, and it doesn't benefit anybody. They can't do anything. And this is the major problem. I don't think people want to accept this, but that is a major problem. And yes, if we're going to bring back technology, build AI, build rocket ships, build cars, and build everything here that is now technologically advanced, we need those people with skills. It doesn't mean they're going to stay here forever. It means we need to use them right now to assist the American people to get back on our feet. Because you have to remember, the deep state since 1971, the central bankers since 1971, they've been basically destroying our workforce for many years. And they've been moving companies out of this country. So now it's time to bring it all back. And I do believe in the end, we will be removing the Federal Reserve, which is the third central bank in this country. And we can see that Trump is out there letting everyone know that Obama used the Autopen to sign Jerome Powell's commission when he appointed Powell to the Federal Reserve Board of Governors in 2012. So basically, we know that Trump voided everything that Biden has done with the Autopen, and now he's calling Obama out, calling Biden out for the Autopen, which means most likely he'll be removing Powell sooner than later. Now, he's just letting everyone know this, but he already has a new Fed that's going to be coming in. And what is that new Fed going to do? They're going to drop rates drastically. The Kobisi letter on X put this out and said, President Trump has asked if the new Fed chair will be expected to lower interest rates immediately. His response, absolutely yes. Of course they are, because this is going to allow this country to go rapidly. Think about it. How is this going to assist businesses? Well, if you look at the automobile manufacturers, if you look at the car dealerships, if you look at all that, think about it. Low interest loans, people going and buying cars with low interest loans. This is going to spur the economy. Think about real estate then. Think about businesses that want to expand. This is going to go into everything. It's going to allow the country to expand very, very rapidly. And as people are getting their buying power back with lower energy, with the tax refunds, with Trump weaning us off the income tax and actually giving people dividends, a low interest loan to purchase a house, to purchase a car, and additional buying power, this allows people to afford these things, which means Trump is tackling the affordability crisis. And basically, he's using the Democrat scam of affordability crisis, and he's going to use this against them because they're trying to convince everyone that Trump is making everything unaffordable. But this was basically created by Biden during his 4 years. So Trump is going to take everything that Biden did, and the Democrats are trying to blame it on Trump, and he's going to start to reverse it. It's already set to go. You see, he took 2025 to set everything in motion. 2026 is the year that you see the results. So it's like someone working out. They start out working out. You don't see any results. A year later, people go, holy crap, look at that. Look at the girl. Look at the guy. I mean, look at the cuts. Look at the muscle. Look at the trim waist. Look what they did. I wonder what they were doing this entire time. Well, they were working out. They were working hard. They set everything up. Just like any athlete or musician or anything like that. Trump did the work through 2025. Nobody's really seen the results. You see bits and pieces of it. But in 2026, that's when it's all going to change. That's when the people are going to start to really experience the difference. I mean, people out in many different states where they're experiencing the low energy, I'm talking about gas prices, they're really experiencing that. When everything starts to hit, people are going to say, holy crap, things are becoming more affordable. Are they becoming more affordable, or is Trump returning your buying power back to you? He's returning your buying power. That is what he's doing right now. And it feels like things are getting cheaper. But what's really happening right now is he's countering the inflation that Biden/Obama has caused and all the other people before them. And he's giving you that buying power back. So it seems like things are cheaper. But again, what changed? Did the price of the item actually change, or do you have more money now? Is it worth more? That is what is changing. And you're going to see this happen throughout 2026, which is going to make people feel absolutely incredibly well. But during this period of time, Trump is going to be using all the weapons that they've always used against the people. And he's going to use it against the D's. He's going to use it against the central bank. And if you just look at the stock market, you know the deep state players, the central bank, the D's, they've always used this. Oh, if the stock market's up, that means the economy's doing well. So what did Trump say? Stock market just hit an all-time high. When will the fake polls show that I'm doing a great job on the economy, and much more? Thank you. And he's absolutely right. Stock market's hitting an all-time high. Every time the stock market's up, they always say the economy's doing well. They always say everything is fine. So why aren't they saying that Trump has improved the economy? But people are really going to feel it in 2026. People are going to start to realize. And then the fake news, the D's and the rest, they won't be able to battle this. It's a losing battle for them. It'll be a winning battle for Trump. And he's going to use the economy in the midterms. He's going to show people, look, things are more affordable. They made it unaffordable. I'm making it affordable. and he's going to win this battle, just like he did during his first time. But this time, he's doing it on steroids. And his entire mission is to do what? Remove the private West Central Bank. Remove the system that they put in place to enslave us. He's going to be removing it. And this is just the beginning. It's just going to get better and better as time goes on. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.